talk about her ever so briefly for just 1 minute in terms of Sue. This is the kind of person she was. She was called down to the office and told that she had been, when she graduated from New York Medical School and Hospital for Women, and told in the classroom that she was the valedictorian of her class. And in the very next breath, they told her that as it would be unseemly, that was the verb that was used, for her to address the graduation people out front, that this little salutatorian was going to be given the valedictory. And she said, "Oh no, I'm valedictorian. I'll be giving the valedictory." Well, they didn't know what to do. They kept her down there like a common criminal and tried to get her to change her mind. And she made it clear she was prepared to take it outside the room and make it an issue. So they eventually let her do it. But imagine the guts to get up. And I mean, even if you get up in the PTA, you'd see people with their heads shaking. This woman stood in 1800, 6 years, was that, before or after the Civil War, this black woman stood up in front of a shocked white audience out front and a hostile faculty sitting behind her. Just imagine what that took. Okay.
That was a good way to start.
This is after having tried to put it down. Oh, my thanks to you, to the many people responsible for today's celebration, to the borough of Brooklyn. No other borough has preserved Black history with so much care and made it so accessible. As Susan's great-granddaughter, I count my family blessed to be included here. Our president leans over a podium and, assuming we have no history of accomplishment, asks us, "What do you have to lose? For the sake of our children, we must fill in his empty-headed blanks. Inform them, our children, that the first man to fall as we fought the British in the Revolutionary War was a black man called Crispus Attucks. Inform them that during the Revolution, blacks were so clever at functioning as spies by laboring in British garrisons and turning over critical information overheard that post the war, they were rewarded with land. Unlike a president who hid under the bed when called to serve, I mean, he has some nerve pretending about Colin Kaepernick that black men are not proud to salute the flag. This is all grotesque, this man that is hiding under the bed. Under a president who hid under the bed when called to serve, black men have fought and died for this country in every war it has ever waged, including the Spanish-American Wars, black infantries and cavalries working out of forts in the territories of the 1800s fought and died for this country. In both world wars, black men fought and died in segregated units for a freedom they themselves did not enjoy. As for the Civil War, there are not only whites to educate, but blacks like Kanye West. It is only partly his fault that he buys into that lie that we were a bunch of dumbbells who passively picked cotton until one day white people came along and saved us. What nonsense! Southerners have sought and been given too much control over the history in our books. 2 slave rebellions are taught in their pages, Nat Turner's and Denmark Vesey's. What's the real count? Not just 2, over 200. The Charlottesville neo-Nazis who lay claim to original ownership of this land and hunger for blacks and Jews to be erased, revise the history. For all their flaming torches and drama, most of those whites who marched came here centuries later than we did. If you are descended from slaves, as am I, on both sides of my family, our people have walked this land since 1619, and don't you forget it. This country is ours. Meanwhile, this blessed borough offers you unique opportunities to educate your children. I'm sorry that they are not there, because I would say, take them to the Brooklyn Historical Society over at 128 Pierpont to see the magnificent exhibition devoted to the black abolitionists of the 1800s. Susan McKinney's father, Sylvanus Smith, is one of the men included. Take them to see what remains of Weeksville, the 19th century black community that, thanks to the remarkable Joan Maynard, is preserved for all time. Keep today's program for your grandkids so they know what the name on that street sign really means. Gift them with books like The Black West by William Lauren Katz. Books that will never be given in school. As they read that book and encounter the lives black people lived in the great American West in the early 1800s, as we fled by the tens of thousands from the slave states in the East to the Western territories, where we lived as free men and women and became cowboys, saloon keepers, rodeo riders, bank robbers, jockeys, and the earliest Kentucky Derbies, infantry and cavalry units like the Buffalo Soldiers. In other words, beat the odds and lived as a free people that will open the doors of their imagination. As for that other West, call Kanye. By all means, let your kids keep buying his music and making him rich, but for heaven's sakes, plug up their ears when he starts talking about black history. He has a big clue.